There we go. Can everybody see that?
Yeah.
Yep, all good. And I'll just get Anthony to mute everybody as well, and then we'll make a start. So welcome to our evening of how we funding our freedom lifestyle. So moving on to, there are three gorgeous babies down at Lucky Bay in southern Western Australia, and we just spent a few days down there, and we're just absolutely loving the lifestyle of traveling around Australia. So can you just mute everyone, please, babe? So who are we? So we're the Bartolo family. I'm Alison, and this is Anthony, and we have our three gorgeous ones, and we are traveling, doing a lap around Australia, very excitedly exploring this amazing country, which I flew into Cairns as a backpacker in, I think, 2005, and went as south as Brisbane and fell in love with Anthony and didn't quite get to do the lap. So here we are now, finally getting to live my dream. I'm pretty sure it's his dream too. So I am originally from the UK, but obviously been over here for about 16 years now. I've worked in government jobs, I've worked corporate jobs. We quit our corporate jobs and we bought our own business, which we had for 7 years. We had a cafe. So we have experienced corporate, running our own business, government, we've whole charade, retail, everything. And now we're in a position where we are free from the systems. We're free from the job system. We are self-financed. We're free from the health system. Not that we wouldn't use it if we, if we had to, but we pretty much, well, for 7 years now, we have used no pharmaceuticals on any of our families. So not even so much as a Panadol. So we feel really empowered that here in our van, no matter where we are in the middle of nowhere, we're able to deal with all our health needs. We're also free from the education system, sort of. We're choosing to do distance education, so it's sort of a mix between homeschooling and having that support, which we absolutely love. But we just love that we get to do things on our terms, and we get to keep a journal and learn about the things that we're seeing, and our education is based around our life and our lifestyle rather than a set curriculum. And we're also free in terms of our time. So with our time, we choose what we want to do, and when we have no agenda other than our own. We don't usually know where we'll be tomorrow because we never know what will capture our attention and curiosity today. So I started building a Doterra business back in 2014. I think I started using the oils, but it's a little bit later that we started a business. And after 2.5 years, we reached the rank of diamond in our business, and we then were able to sell our cafe. So 4 years ago yesterday, we were able to sell our cafe, and we became full-time parents and also full-time lovers of life and lovers of actual real living and not having to be in the rat race. So we're passionate about natural health, and we're passionate about living a life of freedom for ourselves, and also teaching others how to live the same. So whatever that might look like, I know maybe traveling around in a van or living in a small space like a van with 3 kids might not be everybody's idea of freedom, and that's totally okay, but it's mine, and it's about helping you create whatever your life of freedom looks like for you. That might be being able to be at every school pickup and every school assembly, or it might be being able to go on holidays whenever you want to. It might look like whatever that looks like for you. We just love hearing what people's lives of freedom look like. So I was first introduced to essential oils, and I learned that we could use them for all our health needs, particularly all our first aid and just keeping well. But then I heard that you could also make all your own cleaning products, like naturally, and not you having to use synthetics around the home, that you could actually use them for natural skincare and even in our food. And there was a food workshop happening in Brisbane where I was living, and so I attended that to learn more about how to use the oils. And there was a business training at the end, and I had like zero intention of building a business and zero intention of staying for the business part. But I just felt so compelled to stay because the beautiful women who were running the event, they just had so much care and so much passion for teaching other people this life of freedom and wellness and the lifestyle. And I just felt compelled to learn more. And I was asked on that day, if I keep doing what I'm doing now, where will I be in 5 years' time? And at that time, we owned our cafe. We had 3 tiny kids at home. So we owned our own business, which I thought was something that would bring freedom to our life. But the truth was, it really made me reflect that in 5 years' time, we weren't going to be earning much more than we were earning then. It was a capped and limited income potential. And we were tied to the business in the same way that we would be tied to a job, but yet 100% of the responsibility was actually falling on our shoulders. And we found that no one cared as much about our business as us, and that we were always going to be the number one sort of influence in the business. And, you know, it was the opportunity to step down our efforts in the business or to increase our income in the business. Both were sort of not really realistic. So it really made me think about, you know, other options in our life, and I was loving the essential oils. So we decided to build the essential oils business alongside our cafe business until it got to a point where we were able to sell. And that just felt incredible. So what is MLM? This is a question I've been asked a lot over the last couple of days. And that is, you know, people asking, you know, because I said, oh, we're funding our life through MLM. Well, what's MLM? So it stands for multi-level marketing. And it's sometimes known as network marketing as well. So it's the same idea. So instead of the profit, when you sell a product, instead of the profit going to like the big, you know, the big directors with the fat wallets in their, you know, in their pockets at the top of the business chain. So instead of it going to like one company owner or to, you know, into the big person at the top, it's actually split between a community of individual business owners. So these people collectively then educate a client base. So when someone joins to learn about the essential oils, they have a number of people that will support them and a number of people that will take a small amount of commission from every time they take an order. So it builds community, and it's a beautiful way for women, usually women, but there are men as well. There's a lot of stay-at-home mums who'll do this, but there's a lot of people in all sorts of situations as well. But it's a really nice way for people to empower each other and work together. And, you know, if someone stops to have a baby, or someone, you know, isn't out in service because they're traveling around Australia, there's other people there will step in. It's a real team that are working together. So for me, we work with Doterra. So there's lots of different multi-level marketing companies. Doterra is essential oils, so we do use them for first aid, natural cleaning, skincare, gut health, our energy and vitality, help with sleep, moods. There's a lot of investment in emotional health linked with aromatherapy, and so much more. So the difference with Doterra is that so a lot of MLM companies, you will have to buy in a huge amount of stock. So I think, you know, I've seen other companies where you have to buy you know, $5,000 worth of stock, and then you sell that on, and you sell it on as a profit, like as most business models would be. But that's not the case with Doterra. There's no purchasing of the product for other people. There's no having to buy stock and sell it on. There's no shipping, there's no packing, there's nothing like that. So your Doterra manages all of that, and you help someone else to sign up for an account, and they buy the oils at exactly the same prices that you're paying, but you just take a small commission from every single time they order. And you have none of the sort of headache of actually running the logistics of a business. And that for me means that we can be anywhere in Australia or traveling around anywhere in the world, and we don't have that you know, the logistical side of that at all, which is just incredible. So your investment in the oils is literally just the oils that you purchase for yourself. That's the only money that goes out for your business, unless you choose to invest in, you know, personal development or training programs or anything like that. So you earn money through people who directly order, through people who order but directly through the company, but your accounts are linked, and they're linked forever. And this is really important because with Doterra, it's not just a once-off purchase. You don't just buy some oils and then that's the end of the relationship. You actually teach people how to change their lifestyle to a more natural lifestyle. So there's longevity in that. And in fact, 65% of Doterra customers are ongoing customers. So they continue to order on an ongoing basis because we're teaching them how to replace not just their first aid, but they're replacing their personal care products. They're replacing their you know, their sleep support. They're replacing so many things from their life that actually it's an ongoing income and an ongoing relationship and ongoing education. And your relationship with your customer is an ongoing relationship, and your income then becomes ongoing as well.
Okay.
So with the location, it does mean that you can do that from anywhere. We have teams obviously in Australia, but also New Zealand and Tasmania. I know that's part of Australia, but you know, and then the UK, we've got a big team there, and across Europe and Canada and the US as well. So I love that we can be anywhere and doing this. I love that it's like 8 o'clock here we wouldn't normally run a webinar late in the evening at 8 o'clock, but we thought, well, this means that people in the UK can be watching this in their afternoon, and then people can watch the replay. But it's just, you know, with this online model, people can just access information at any time. I love that the compensation is absolutely uncapped. So there's actually over 200 million US dollars paid out daily in multi-level marketing companies. So it's a huge amount of money that's circulating in MLM. It is a genuine business, and 20% of millionaires are actually made through MLM, through multi-level marketing. So for me, this is a genuine opportunity to get out of the rat race. And you know when Google slams it that you're onto something. So as far as I'm concerned, if you actually look at the real opportunity, it's incredible. There are some common misconceptions, and it does get a bad rap. MLM is often linked to a pyramid scheme, and I'll show you how that's not at all what this is, but it's often the words that's like flying around there. As far as I'm concerned, any corporate structure is a pyramid, and this is about as opposite of a pyramid scheme as it gets. A pyramid scheme is where there's no product and you're simply just selling an opportunity to somebody, and I'll show you in a minute how that's the opposite. So it is true that a number of people do fail on MLM, and from my perspective, I feel that's because people think it's a get-rich-quick scheme. They don't treat it like a business. And I also feel that although there's minimal outlay, which is amazing for people to be able to enter this as an opportunity, you know, literally from $35 you could start a Doterra business. But I find that minimal outlay and input, like you've got less skin in the game, and often that results to minimal action taken because there's nothing lost if people fail, and so then we end up with minimal results. And what I've found over and over again is that if you treat it like a hobby, if it's a hobby business, you'll receive a hobby income. If you treat it like a business, you'll receive a business income. If you treat it like a multi-million-dollar business, you will receive a multi-million business income. So it's all about the input, and I love that because I love to be rewarded for the efforts that I put in. Another bad sort of awkward aspect of MLM that some people don't like, and I certainly don't like it, is that awkward, icky, I've got to call all my friends and family and try and get them to join my my business. But the reality is there are so many different ways to do it. And what I've found is that people who don't want to treat it like a business, they might be afraid to create a true, real business plan like you would if you were setting up an actual business. And so they might find themselves sending awkward messages to friends and family, and that's really not what it's about. And they'll usually stop, and then they'll say, oh, it doesn't work, and it's really awkward. But if you actually step back and have a plan, it's very, very different. There's clear strategies and training to do this in a really authentic and professional way. So MLM, multi-level marketing, to me is freedom. I get to choose my inputs. So I'm just going to share with you the income earning disclosure from Doterra. So this is in Australian dollars. I know there's people that have registered this from the UK. So yeah, I should have put the UK prices on there, but I didn't. Not prices, earnings in there. So these are the different ranks in Doterra, and it's like, well, how long does it take to get to presidential diamond? How long does it take to get to gold? And it's like saying, well, how long does it take you to run to the next village? Because some people might walk, some people might not go. Like, it just, how much effort do you want to put in? We personally reached diamond in 2.5 years. I know people that did it in less than a year. I know people that have spent 5 years getting to silver. And, you know, for some people, just having a silver income as a nice replacement of, you know, an addition to their super or their pension is, you know, that's all they want. And that's really, you know, it's really up to you how big and how hard and how fast you want to go, and you'll be rewarded. And as with any business, yeah, it's dependent on what you put in. So it's up to you. And they are monthly figures as well. So they do grow hugely as you grow up into the ranks. So why Doterra? So for me, obviously there's lots of MLMs out there. Well, I'll be honest, I didn't really choose Doterra. I just loved the oils. I didn't even know what MLM was. I didn't know there was a business attached. I just absolutely loved these oils. And then I started naturally sharing them with all my friends and family, and I wanted them to have an experience they had. And then, you know, then I learned there was a business. So it wasn't that I actually actively was trying to set up another business, like very far from that, with three small kids and a business that we were already running. But it really captured me, and you know, the reasons why I love this company and why I'm really glad that it fell in my lap. So number one is the vision. I love the vision of people turning to natural health for their solutions. I know that, you know, there's great results from pharmaceuticals, and you know, so many ways of doing things, but I do feel that having natural solutions at home that I know cause no harm for my kids, and having that vision of moving towards turning towards the earth and turning inwards to ourselves is like a big part of my passion for natural health. And I love that's what Doterra and Doterra's vision is as well. I also love the quality and transparency, and I've put in ownership, which is separate, it's just I couldn't fit another box on, of Doterra. So with the quality, the essential oils are the best essential oils on the planet, and I can say that with complete conviction because I have researched the absolute to the depths of every single thing I can possibly look at. And I know that it's the only company, in terms of transparency, it's the only company that goes to the lengths of testing that it does, and it's the only company where you can actually look up the exact chemical constituents or the exact you know, what's in your bottle on the website, and every single bottle is tested, and it's tested much in a much bigger way than any other companies do. And we know that with big research that's been done through universities, that is the only company, not only that is actually truly pure, no matter what it says on the bottle, but it is also potent. So they provide the best therapeutic value. So we might have a lavender that's grown in a different soil to the lavender that's grown by Doterra, and it produces a different therapeutic quality. So they might both be pure, but one's going to be, you know, the Doterra one's going to be more potent. So there's lots of stories and lots of examples of how they achieve that in terms of the length of time, or when it's harvested, or which part of the plant it's used, or so much. So I know they're the best oils, and they produce then therefore the best therapeutic results, which I love. And then the ownership of the company. So I love that the company owners are still the company owners. They haven't floated the company on the stock market, and they never will. It will always be privately owned, which means that they will make decisions based on what is best for the farmers who are growing the oils, and us who are using the oils, and those of us who are working with them as distributors to sell the oils. They will make their decisions based on what is best for us, not for shareholders. And I absolutely love that about the company. I also love the co-impact sourcing and healing hands. I can literally talk for about 4 hours on this, so I'll just skim over it very briefly, but please go and research it. Co-impact sourcing is where it's impacting both the farmers and the people who are benefiting from the oils. So it's that highest quality product that I'm talking about, but also impacting the communities. So a lot of places where, you know, I think it's over 40, close to 50 of the country, I think might even be over 50 of the countries that they source the oils from are actually developing nations. And, you know, actually going to those communities and looking at what their needs are. You know, are the girls missing out on education where it's only been given to boys before? You know, the girls not having feminine hygiene products? Do they not have running water? Like, what are the actual needs of the community? And going there and not only paying the farmers above and beyond what they've ever been paid before, but also actually supporting the entire community with projects like that, and, you know, micro lending, so that the women in the village can sell bread, so that the whole economy is stimulated out there, not just to do with the oils. So I love that, and the Healing Hands Foundation, which is all about funding those projects. So please go and look into that, because it's the heart and soul of what doTERRA is about, and I absolutely love it. And then the compensation. So I love the compensation plan because it is the most generous compensation plan of any MLM that I've studied. And I have this whole broken down into with this. It's actually a little bit complicated because they're so generous. They pay in 5 different ways. And so it can be take a little time to get your head around it, or it took me a while to get my head around it. So I've broken this down into short videos so you can fully understand the compensation plan. And what's so beautiful about it is it's basically upside down. Usually we are paid the most for the people that we introduce, and if they introduce somebody else, we get paid a little bit less, and a little bit less, and a little bit less. With doTERRA, it's the opposite way around. So the more people that there are, the higher volume, or the higher more highly compensated on the higher volume. It's all explained in the video. I'm not explaining that very well, but it's a beautiful way that supports community, which I absolutely love, and supports that sort of together we rise motion as well. So there are 3 pathways in doTERRA, and I'll just go through these now. So the first one is live. I actually like to call this love, because it's people who love their oils. And it is people that are living the lifestyle. So 85% of people who join doTERRA are a customer. And this is why this is not a pyramid scheme. We're not just signing up people so that they can sign up other people so they can sign up other people with no product. 85% of the people that we introduce are not going to want to share this or build a business. And so we're looking after these people. And as a business owner, my job is to care for these people and support them with their health and their lifestyle, regardless of whether they choose to build a business or not. So I will spend time as a business owner educating and supporting these people to change their life and find, you know, natural solutions to just everyday issues. We then have the share option. So this is people who maybe want their oils for free, or they just want their friends and family or their own network to experience the oils because they're having such a great time. It can just be them like hosting a class or a workshop or a little meetup, or, you know, coffee morning in their home, or a few having, you know, one of those regularly, or it might be on a Zoom, or it could be somebody who's doing it as a hobby business. So they want to have their oils paid for. They might even set up a Facebook page and let their friends know about it, you know, so that they're getting their oils for, like, they're getting their healthcare for free. And then we've got the build. So this is an entrepreneur. This is people who are genuinely wanting to start a business. So if you imagine the profile of a person who's looking to actually create residual passive income, they're going to be investing in themselves. They're going to be obsessed with personal growth. They're going to want to do the inner work, like, you know, when they get rejected from something, they're going to explore that, and instead of retreating and running away, they're going to find a way to grow from that. Ideally, they're going to have some sort of business experience and have that entrepreneurial mindset over that employee mindset. So rather than what can I get from this, or how little work can I do for maximum reward, it's like, what can I create? How much value can I add to other people? And it's people looking for solutions, who are adapting, people who are magnetic, and they want to make a big impact on themselves and others. So your investment. In terms of starting this business, or even ongoing this business, it blows me away how little we have to invest, certainly financially, in the business. So the commitment, or it's not even a commitment because you don't have to do it, but in order to earn commissions in any month, we need to place a 100-point order with doTERRA. So that equates to roughly about $100 US if you're in the US. It's about 120 to 130 in Australia, depending on what you're buying, because every product has a point value and it can vary slightly. And in the UK, it's about £75. So for me, I just feel like this order ensures that I'm magnetic. I don't want to be selling someone a skin treatment for their skin when I'm not caring for my skin with those products. I don't want to be telling another mum how she can up her energy when I'm not investing in the things that are, you know, that I'm telling her, when I'm not using them myself. So 100 points is really just to make sure that I'm magnetic, and I'm not just a conning salesman. I'm an actual reflection and mirror of the product that I'm selling. So that's it financially. That's literally it. I just can't think of any other business where you don't have to, like, you can just run it from your computer with no stock and no risk and no, like, nothing, for like $100 a month. It just, having owned my own business, I just think it's such an incredible opportunity. So the real investment is you. It takes real business action to run a business, and it takes time to commit, and it's investing in the personal development and committing to yourself that this is something that you're going to move forward with. And it's doing the pipes. So we're going to go through the pipes, and this is basically what you actually do in doTERRA. So the pipes, I love that it's a acronym for the actions that you take, but I also love that it's actually a pipe, because what we're doing is we're building residual income, and we're building a pipeline, a flow of financial income, rather than hauling buckets. So the story goes that, you know, the villagers, each day they go down to the river and they go on their little walk, and they fill up their bucket with water and bring it back to the village, and they do this journey over back and forth every day. And it's a lot of effort, but they get rewarded when they bring the water back to the village. They get their payment. And one guy, he decides, well, instead of, as well as hauling buckets, I'm going to keep hauling my buckets because I need income to support my family. But I'm going to stay that little bit extra at the end of every day. And I'm going to just lay a little bit of pipeline that goes from the river to the village. And over the course of a long time or short time, depending on how many hours he wants to put in or how quickly he wants to get there, he lays a little bit of extra pipe every day and he stays on that little bit later than everybody else. And then one day when he gets back to the village, the pipeline is complete, he gets to turn it on and he has a constant flow of water. He no longer has to walk down to the river and he has a constant flow of income without having to do the work over and over again. And that's the idea of residual income, is putting the effort in now so that we can have that ongoing income in the future. And I'm so grateful that we had that foresight to do that. As we had our cafe and the 3 kids and put everything in so that we're now in a position to be able to travel around Australia. It is, if we knew the value of passive income, we would all be knocking down walls to get it into our life. So the pipes themselves, I have individual videos on each of the PIPES on YouTube, so you're welcome to check those out, but I'll go through them very briefly now. But the first one is prepare. So this is two layer, bi-layer, I don't know what I'm trying to say. There's 2 aspects to this. So one is preparing the business. So making a plan. Anyone who sets up a business has a business plan. So what feels good for you? Is it an online business? Is it running women's circles or men's circles, incorporating the oils? A lot of people, they might already be like a yoga teacher or a massage therapist, and they might bring it into their already existing business. Personally, I'm a mum. I had no network, so I incentivized referrals to build my business. That was my strategy. And I collaborated with other health professionals and ran events with them, offering, my expertise in essential oils at events that we would run together. But the options really are endless. There's so many creative ways to do this, and especially now that so many more people are open to learning online and collaborating online, that's a massive option as well. So that business side of it, and then there's preparing you. So that's your personal development, committing time and headspace to actually knowing that you're running a business, and learning. So personally, when I first started, I used to watch YouTube constantly and find the people who resonated with me. So I love my upline, Jessie Reimers. She really resonates with me because she's got no BS approach to building the business. But there's other people out there, people in America, people in Europe who really resonated with me and I felt really aligned with, and I've taken on board their methods as well. And then I took a little bit from each. I did my little shopping, took my shopping basket and liked the bits from each one and put them in, and then created my own style, injected my own flavor into that as well to create how I wanted to run my business. So it was just continually learning, continually looking and being inspired by other people. So the I is for invite. So who are we inviting into our business? Well, there's 8 billion people on the planet. I think 8 million of them have doTERRA. So that leaves a lot of people who do not yet know about doTERRA and using natural health essential oils in their life in that way. So it's really up to you what strategy you want, whether it is online, in person, and it's just creating that strategy. There's lots of trainings that you can do. doTERRA have just released a business training. It's $100, I think it's $100 US, and it has the top leaders in Australia, not in Australia, in the US and globally, all in there sharing their concise strategies for building a business. So that is something that anyone can access and just find your own way in terms of who you're going to be inviting in, because the options are endless, particularly with online. So presenting is literally just teaching people how to use the oils. So whether that's on an online class or whether that's in person, people that you might meet. Literally last night just met somebody whose child was suffering with teething, so I gave them a little sample and then they said today, yeah, that worked, they want to know more. So then it's just teaching them how to use it. This book, the Modern Essentials book, I don't know if you can see this is basically my Bible. It just has all the answers of what to use, which oils to use for what. So if you just get your hands on that, you're going to be able to show anybody how easy it is to use the oils. You don't need to know the answer, you just need to know where to show people to look for the answer. And you just ask for them people what their pain points are and show them what the solution is. Then enrolling. So this is just literally helping people open their own account. They're going to get the same discount as you, 25% off everything in doTERRA. They'll pay the same prices as you, but then now their account is now attached to your account so that you receive that residual income. The more you teach them to replace in their life with natural solutions, the more passive income that you will have. And then it's just about ongoing support for that. So in our team, we have resources set up. We have oilschool.com.au ready to launch. We also have our Oil School community on Facebook. We're also setting up a Google Drive with all our resources we've ever created that are sort of not necessarily very orderly on social media, or getting really ordered on a Google Drive for everybody. And I know not everybody wants to be on Facebook anymore, so it's great to have that resource away from that. So your job really is to just learn about the oils and then teach other people how to do the same, and then learn about how to do the business and teach those who are interested to do the same. So for those ready to start building that future residual income today, how do you get started? You literally just need to open your own doTERRA account. It's really simple. You choose a starter kit and then just fall in love with the oils. Once you've fallen in love with the oils, you'll see our customer support system that we have within our team that you can then utilize for your own customers, and you'll start stacking up your own essential oil experiences that you won't be able to hold back from sharing authentically with all other people as well. So if you've been introduced to doTERRA by somebody else who sent you here, go back to them. They're willing to support you. You do get to choose who you want to join with. So if you're wanting to do the business, make sure you are joining with someone who has system in place, who are going to be able to be your business partner, and someone you're going to be able to be kept accountable to. They're never going to run your business for you. It's your business, but it's someone that you'll be able to brainstorm with and collaborate with. So if you are looking to build a business, I do recommend, actively choosing who you want to join with. But if someone has been supporting you up to now, then it's really good culturally to go back to them and ensure that you're, respecting that investment that they've made in you to this point. So I personally love working with outrageously awesome people who have good hearts, who genuinely care about other people and want other people to experience the wonders of natural health. People who aren't afraid of playing big. Well, maybe they're afraid, but they take action anyway. And so if that's you, then I would love to work with you, and I'd love to show you the systems that we have in place. Once you've joined, you'll get links to our online community, which you can see here, the Oil School community, which will be available soon on Google Drive. And in there, you'll see a unit called Share a Drop. Now, this is set up and gives step-by-step guide on exactly what to do to share with others. So what to say to somebody, what samples to give people for specific needs, how to set up your own website. It's everything just broken down into very short little videos and instructions, and gives you tasks so you can set it all up really easily to get your business up and running. And we'll set up a one-to-one call, and I'll help you get started and do that business brainstorm plan with you, and we'll keep checking in regularly to help you move along the way. So I'm going to leave you with the question that prompted me to change paths, and that is, as I said earlier, if I keep doing what I'm doing now, where will I be in 5 years? So I'd love you to ask yourself that same question, and to ask yourself, is it time to take control of every aspect of your life? Start building a pipeline and creating a life of freedom, whatever that looks like for you. And this is a picture of our van down at Palubi Beach in South Australia. I can see Chris and Suze on the call, and that's where we met them as well. And this was just literally sitting up on the beach for a week, the kids digging holes in the sand and just feeling so grounded, so centered, getting to watch that beautiful sunset. And for me, this is my life of freedom, but whatever that looks like for you, I wish for every person to live free in the truest, most authentic way for them. So I want to thank you so much for joining me this evening. If you're looking to start and you're not sure where to start, just shoot me an email. It's just hello@healthymunchkins.com.au, and I'll help you one-to-one, no problems at all. And I thank you so much for joining me.